Hey guys, Chris from The Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel, and this is now part 26 of the Great Cleanup. Now previously we've been concentrating mainly on the backyard. When the weather's nice, we're doing scrap runs as well, and a lot of you have said, look, you should knock it over easy in 47 days or however many days are left. It's less than that now. And yes, if it was just the yard, I think it would be a piece of cake. However, I haven't really shown you what's in the back of the shop. We've done a walkthrough once or twice, and it's very cluttered, and as most people know, when you're cleaning up, a lot of stuff gets jumbled around and messed up, and it sometimes looks worse before it looks better. Let's go and have a look inside in each room in the back of the shop and in the shop and what we're up to now for this episode, and just show you what I've got to do. We'll discuss some things if they're worthy of discussion. And yeah, it just gives you a bit more of an idea that it's not just the yard that I have to clean up. So the Weather Bureau have it right. We've had quite a lot of rain this morning, showery for the next few days. So swing my efforts now to inside. And there's a lot of stuff to go through to sort out. Some will be moved to Christine's shop. Some will be moved home. There's a bit of scrap metal in boxes and buckets. So remember, the back of the shop here was a residence, and I actually lived here for 16 years. And since Christine and I bought our house about 3 years ago, this has turned into a bit of a storeroom, a processing room. I have little tubs for scrap metal. Some of this stuff is empty boxes, and it will clear pretty quickly. Coco sleeps in front of the heater. What a spoilt dog she is. There are some boxes here from the Great Radio Shed Cleanup that we did a series on, and I haven't got back to unpacking those, so there's still some treasures to be discovered there. I'm not going to have time. I realise I'm not going to have time to go through and sort everything, but I shall... What are you doing, Coco? I shall sort of quickly, if there's anything obviously not much value, I'll ditch it, and I'll have to move the rest, and we'll sort that out when I have more time later on. So here's the kitchen area. I am going to sell the stove. I might have pointed out once before. I have some nice old jars and torpedo bottles up there of my collection. Some of those will be for sale. The small engine repairs sign was a previous business. I was a small engine mechanic, and I may have mentioned that. So that sign is just a bit of a souvenir from my past. I'll probably take it with me. I'm not sure where I'll put it. So there's a lot of stuff in here. We're going to have to move the fridge next door to Christine's because it's got a really tiny little kitchen area, and we will need a fridge. A lot of junk on the table here, which I've got to clean up. Just assorted stuff. That clock is a family one. I'll take that home, and those signs. Here's some good signs. Some I'll keep, some I'll sell. And that clock is, I believe, a platform clock from Flinders Street Railway Station in Melbourne, and I'm never to sell that. Jess, my oldest, has actually claimed that for herself when I depart this earth, so I have to keep it. The bathroom area got used for a lot of bubble wrap and basically packaging materials. There's a cupboard here that has to be sold, and in the old shower, because I don't live here anymore, I don't need to shower here. My remainder of my bottle collection, which I will be packing up, taking home and sorting out and selling a few later on. So you can see there's not a lot of room in here. Certainly no space for cat swinging. And one of the lines I heard once was that it's so tight on room you have to step outside to change your mind. So yeah, there's lots of just light globes and boxes for packaging, and it has got very disorganized because we're rummaging through for things, and things get tumbled around. I'll have to set up a bit of a testing dock area next door. There's a little bit of space in Christine's storeroom where I can set up a bit of a bench for testing stuff, because I don't want to have to take it all home to test it. Now down the hallway here, there's various items of stock and things that I have to fix down the track. Some of these prints and paintings can go in the shop now. Some of them I've kept because I've liked them. Some may go home. A lot will go in the shop. There's some more bottles up the top there and some more pictures. Sometimes I hang pictures and paintings and sketches and originals up here because I'm not sure of the value, and I'd like to do more research, and then I never quite get back to them. Now that is an original sketch of Stevie Ray Vaughan, done by Wayne Ransom, I think. I can't quite read that from here. So it might have a bit more value than just an average print. Well, I'm sure it will. Now, moving around into what was the bedroom here. This has been used as a storeroom and it was completely full. I've made a fair bit of progress in here. I do need to finish off in here as well. There's some of my table tennis trophies, if I'm allowed to have a bit of a brag. We'll give you some footage of table tennis at some stage. Lots of empty boxes and packaging materials again. There's a lot of, some of my e-waste like hard drives and things have been stacked in here, so I'm going to have to start liquidating them. There's also stacks of laptops, a bit of paperwork that's got out of control, some empty boxes for eBay packaging. There's a nice old school cupboard there, which I will be taking next door, and that chest of drawers there will be sold. I've emptied this section, and I had some shelves up here. I've taken all those down. So further down the hallway, now that doorway leads into the tech room, if you remember the layout of the shop. We have a stationery shelf, and we've moved a lot of that next door already. The hallway is quite narrow, and it's kind of been an office for me. I have various office supplies and bookwork things and all sorts of stuff, and then it gets a bit jumbled up because sometimes you just don't have time to deal with stuff. So I'll have to have somewhere to set up my till and whatnot next door. The counter will be going. That will probably be the last thing to go. Cleaning products under the counter. And we come into the shop. Now the shop has thinned out a lot, and we've then brought stuff from Christine's shop into here. So most of this is half price, and every time we open we do move a lot of things, and I keep moving shelving around as we sell a cabinet, and more shelving comes in from the kitchen room and other places, because I need to keep the shop functional and operational to be able to sell this stuff. All this is stuff that I don't want to box up and move. It needs to go, and as we get closer to the final days, some of it will be moved to the free trolley. At the moment, most of it's half price, and every time we open, we do sell a lot of stuff, because I think my prices were pretty cheap anyway, so half price is sometimes ridiculously cheap. This is the tech room. It now is just becoming a bit of everything, because I'm having to move shelving around. But it's thinned out quite a bit, and this will be the next room that I want to completely empty. And if we wander around the other side of the shop into the kitchen room, you'll see what I'm meaning. I'm trying to be fairly methodical in my cleanups. I know it looks a bit of a jumble in places, but we need to keep the shop functional. So I can't just, box things and make big piles, and I still have to have customers coming through. Now all this stuff is going to Christine's. I'm pricing a lot of stuff and taking it next door. My bottle shelf has already been relocated, and all the bottles are next door. The blokes room has thinned out a little bit. Well, sorry, the shed room has thinned out quite a lot actually, and some of these tables have come out of the kitchen room. So all the signs and things are off the wall. We'll wander through into what was the kitchen room, and you'll see that it's pretty sparse. It will sound very echoey. There's not much left in here at all. That set of shelves is going next door. I'm moving some milk crates of stock that I need to go through later into here, so they can just easily be moved. And all this vintage computer gear is out of the van. I told you there was some vintage computer gear in the van, and some old CRT TVs. That's a Sony Trinitron there. Some vintage boom boxes, some other hi-fi stuff that I'd like to repair. So I'm keeping some of this stuff. I'm speculating. I think some of this will be worth a lot more in the future. Anything beige in computers is starting to becoming very collectible. Early monitors definitely, and some of these PCs down here, there's an IBM and a HP, and they're all 1990s, maybe a little earlier. So they're starting to become worth quite a bit of money. I think it's worth stacking them aside for future. I could eBay them. I certainly don't want to quit them cheap now, and they're definitely not going in the e-waste. Speaking of e-waste, I have tubs of boards that I'm going to take down to e-waste bin at some stage soon. Motherboards, mid-grade boards. So this is a bit of a staging room now. I'm going to put that cupboard on Facebook today. It was $175. I'm going to put it on for $100, see if we can move it. And pretty well that will empty the kitchen room, and I'll just use it to store some stuff. I'm going to have a lot of bubble wrap that I'm going to put in tubs, because I will need that if I'm eBaying down the track, and that can probably go up in the rafters in Christine's shop next door. So that's what the shop's looking like at the moment. It's there's a lot of stuff still, and for those of you that have been looking at my yard thinking, yeah, he's making good progress. He should be fine. You do have to factor in that I have to empty the building as well. Just back in the main room, I'm definitely taking this cabinet. It will probably stay on my counter next door. And the large cabinet over on the wall there with my Australian pottery, and there's a few ginger beer bottles in there. Hang on, we've got bad reflection. It's a beautiful old cabinet and I'd love to keep it, but it needs to be screwed to a wall, and I don't think there's anywhere in Christine's shop where we can put it. I don't really want to take it home because I'm not going to continue being a big collector of things. I'm actually enjoying liquidating a lot of stuff. So I put $1,000 on it. If it doesn't sell, I'm not going to discount that one. If it doesn't sell, we will take it home. You just don't get those nice old cabinets very often, and it's in such great condition that, yeah, that will probably come home unless we find someone that wants it. So there we go. We'll finish this up here. A walk around the shop, lots to do, lots of, oh, look, even just taking the prints off the wall and everything's a big job. Most of the light fittings are mine. So I'll keep working at it and I'll keep you guys informed with what we're up to. So I'll leave this video there, guys. At least you can see now when it's rainy and not very nice outside, that's where I'm working. And every evening, we're back here nearly every evening. And it gives you a bit of an idea of what I have to move other than just what's in the yard. And also, that's how full some of my sheds are. We'll get into the shipping container very soon. We'll do a video on this shed when we get another stretch of nice weather. This week is supposed to be freezing from all accounts. It's supposed to be only tops of 10, I think 9 one day, showery rain, hail, windy, which for us here, just coming out of summer and had a pretty nice autumn, it's going to take a bit of getting used to. For you guys in the States or in Canada that are used to shoveling snow off your car every morning, well, it's probably just, you know, a fine day. But it does mean that I can't do much more in the yard. I can't get to the shed or the shipping container until the weather fines up a bit. I'm going to go and finish loading the van for another scrap run while it's not so bad today. Next episode, we'll probably be back inside and show you what progress we're making. I'm not sure. The videos are going to come thick and fast for a while. The old plan of one every Sunday and one every Thursday are out the window. I'll just post them when they're ready. Keep you guys right up to date. And I hope, well, you all say you're enjoying the journey, so thanks for following along. See you in the next video. Bye for now.